Hello, everyone. Welcome to our CAO information evening. I'm Neil Flynn. I work in the student recruitment in the undergrad admissions office. I'm here with my colleague Emer Sheeran from MAP, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Emer, as Neil says, and I'm the Mature Student Officer based in the Maynooth Access Programme.
Yeah, so I'll be taking you through the QQI entry routes. I have a short presentation. We'll do a bit of a Q&A, and then Emer will take you through the mature student route. So I'll just share my screen here, and 1 second, bear with us. Okay, is that all good, Emer?
That's coming up. Yep, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, lovely. I'd like to welcome you all again to our CAO information night. As you can see in the bottom left there, I'm the student recruitment officer with the undergraduate admissions team. So there's my email address, phone number as well. If you have any questions, like specific individual questions, just note that down and we can answer them. There's a Q&A function as well in the webinar in the chat. So feel free to use that throughout the night. As well. Okay. So if you just look at the background there, just a little introduction. You can see the Maynooth University Library. So this is John Paul II Library. The picture here was taken just where North Campus and South Campus meet. So the North Campus is the new college and the South Campus is sort of the old college. So the university itself has been around since the 90s. And in the background there, you'll see the spire of the church. And that dates back like St. Patrick's Pontifical College. We share the South Campus and it dates back to the 1790s. So it's a nice kind of juxtaposition between new and old and yeah, both sides of the campus there. So bear with me there. Okay. Yeah, so welcome again. I'll be taking you through the QQI entry to Maynooth University. Again, questions into the Q&A box. We'll do our best to answer everything we can now, but we will get back to individual queries if we can't answer and we need to ask our colleagues for like further clarification. All right. So here's a bit of a presentation of a presentation summary. So I'll take you through all the terminology, PLC, QQI, FETAC, what they mean. We'll go through what MU courses have QQI entry routes, what QQI courses are eligible for entry, how many places are reserved, and then how do I apply. So I'll take you through like a step-by-step process of applying and securing a place on your preferred course. Okay. So here, some of you may or may not be aware of this. This is the National Framework of Qualifications in Ireland. So I'll make you aware of kind of the bottom row there. It's all the different levels. QQI is the Quality and Qualifications Ireland. It's the awarding body for all qualifications in Ireland. All right. So you may now be at sort of level 4, level 5, Leaving Cert, post Leaving Cert level. And then you're making your way to hopefully Maynooth, and all our undergraduate courses are level 8. Okay. So the level 6s and level 7s are kind of the institutes of technology there, are now known as technological universities. And then your level 9 is your master's, and your level 10 is your doctorate, your PhD level. Okay. Yeah. So the terminology. So the PLC, QQI, FETAC, what's the difference? So first of all, we're looking at FETAC. FETAC is actually the old body. It stands for Further Education and Training Awards Council. It was replaced in 2012 by QQI. So the reason I've have it here in the terminology in the presentation is because sometimes you do see it online, or you see reference to FETAC. So just if you do see reference to FETAC, note that it's the old body and QQI is now the new name for the body. So it's, like I said, it's Quality and Qualifications Ireland. It's the awarding body for all qualifications in Ireland. So look then at PLC. So PLC is a post-leaving certificate course. It's a type of course that leads to a QQI award. So it's after your leaving cert. So then, yeah, looking at why you guys are here. So some of you may be looking to take a QQI course in the future. You might be doing your leaving cert now. Some of you are doing QQI courses now. Maybe some of you are mature students, in which you could fall into, two different categories. Emer will take us through that maybe in more detail later. But yeah, we'll carry on. So we kind of start at the beginning here, and we're looking at, what course would you like to do? So you have to do your research, research the Maynooth University course you're interested in, see if Maynooth is a good fit for you. So we kind of say always come to open days, see if you're kind of like the vibes of the campus and see if it suits you, because you'll be here for 3 to 4 years depending on your degree. And yeah, you wanna feel at home or feel like you belong in the campus, all right, or in the college. So then you're looking at, does my MU course have a QQI entry route? So unfortunately, not all of our courses do. But I'll take you through kind of some of the courses that do here, all right? So yeah, step one would be what courses have QQI links. All right, so at the top of the page there is a link. It will take you to this landing page. All right, you can Google just Maynooth University QQI link, QQI linked courses, and yeah, it'll take you this page. So this is all of our courses, the number of places that are reserved for QQI entrance, and then it'll have the QQI points that it was last year. So it works similar to the CAO. There is a points system. There is a QQI points calculator, which I'll take you through further on in the presentation. Couple of things to note there. If you see AQA, it means all qualified applicants. So that means anyone who applied, who met the minimum entry requirements, got a place on that course. So if you look at the BA in Arts there, 175 places, and it's AQA. So anyone who applied, who met the minimum entry requirements, were offered a place on the course. So I'll take you through kind of minimum entry requirements and stuff further on in the presentation as well. If you see the little star, so you might see psychology there, through arts, 3 places, 390 and a star. That means random selection. So 390 is the max amount of points you can get for your QQI. And the star means random selection. So unfortunately, like some of our courses are really competitive. So it is a competitive process, and yeah, it can go down to random selection sometimes. So step 2 then, yeah, is my course eligible? All right, so the QQI course you are currently doing, or if you're leaving cert, you're looking at doing a QQI course, that course has a code, okay? This course needs to link with the MU course that you want to do. All right. So if you see that it's actually the same link from the previous slide, you'll see the Maynooth course, and there will be a list of the QQI course codes that link to that specific course. All right. So this is like particularly important for maybe leaving certs, research the entry routes you want to do, because yeah, these courses, it needs to link in. All right. So this is just an example. So we're looking at MH221, our BSc in Sports Science and Health. Okay, so 5 places reserved for QQI each year. Last year was 325 points, and there are 3 linked courses, as you can see there. So the codes for the linked courses are CASLT, 5M3807, and 5M5267, okay? So your course, if you want to be doing sports science and health in Maynooth, you need to be doing a QQI course with that code. All right, so there are special requirements as well for some courses. So for this one, for example, applicants must present one of the following, all right? So because sports science and health, it's quite maths heavy, you need to present an 04H7 in Leaving Cert Maths and a merit in 6N3395, so that would be a module, or a distinction in one of those modules that are likely maths or stats, okay? So these are special requirements. They're the minimum entry requirements. So it's important to check these to satisfy the minimum entry requirements. And again, they'll vary from course to course. So okay, so then it's you're looking at step 3. So how do I actually apply to the course as a QQI applicant? All right, so similar to Leaving Cert, it's CAO, so CAO.ie as normal. And you're looking at creating your account there. So the closing date is soon for the early discounted application. I think €35. I think it goes up to €50 after that. So you have there 1st of February is the normal closing date for applications. 1st of May, closing date for late applications. And then throughout the year as well, there's a change of mind facility that opens and closes, but the last one closes on the 1st of July, there at 5 p.m. All right. So assessment for a place in Maynooth University. So I touched on this earlier, and kind of what QQI results do I need to be offered for a year one place. So the minimum entry requirements are a full award, okay, 8 modules passed with 5 distinctions. All right, so that's the minimum entry requirement to get in. Like I said, for maybe the arts earlier, anyone who applied and got their 5 distinctions and 8 modules in total passed, and they got a place on that course. All right, so it is, like I said earlier, it is a competitive entry process. Supply and demand does dictate the points, so they can change from year to year. It really depends on, how many people are applying for that year. So it can go to random selection. So you want to be looking for a lot of the courses to be getting the maximum amount of distinctions, just to make sure of your chances of getting a place. So again, some of the courses and subjects, like I said in the last slide, there are extra requirements. So for example, the maths or Irish, you might have to get a certain result in, the Leaving Cert or in the QQI course that you're doing. And the grades can be taken from either or. So like I said, in the sports science and health one, they must present one of the following. So it can be taken from the Leaving Cert or it can be taken from the course that they're doing. So yeah, I mentioned this earlier, how to calculate the points for QQI. So the link is at the top of the page. You can just Google QQI points calculator. So similar enough to the Leaving Cert points, there are points allocated for a distinction, for a merit, and a pass. So fairly straightforward there. You put in each of your modules and what results you get, and you come up with your points. So 8 distinctions would get you the max score of 390 points. All right, so then step 5, you're looking at the offer stage. All right, so for most of the courses, it's CAO round 0 offer. All right, so that's in early August, and it's just before the round 1 offers, along with the kind of school goers. All right, so it depends on the type of course. For quota courses, it'll be round 0, and for non-quota courses, it's round 1. And then just to check if your course, which it lies on, you can just follow that link on the purple square. So CAO.ie/QQI search. All right, so most of them are round 0. So you accept your offer then through the CAO, and then you'll receive your welcome email and orientation information from us here at Maynooth. All right, so sources of information for you guys. Information is all in the prospectus. It has everything, college life in Maynooth, everything about the course information, entry information, email addresses for contacts for specific departments. Everyone's so happy to help. If you have any specific questions for the undergrad admissions team or the specific department, you can email them and they'll get back to you as well. All right, so then, like I said earlier, the best thing to do is come to the open days, right? So is Maynooth a good fit for me? You'll find out fairly quickly when you land here, if you like the place, if you can see yourself being here for, 3 or 4 years, and that really is the best way to find out. So we had two really successful open days in November, at the end of November. But we have more. So we have a spring open day on the 25th of April, and we have a summer open day on the 27th of June. So this one is just before the end of mine closes as well. So it's a really good opportunity to come see us and see if you like the place. You can talk to students, you can talk to academics, all the sports clubs and socks, everything else. Have a walk around the campus, and yeah, a walk around the town as well. All right, and yeah, thanks for your time. We can answer any questions. Emer might have a few extra that came through. So yeah, if any question can't be answered, like I said, we'll reach out to you kind of individually. But yeah, thanks very much for your time, and I'll welcome back Emer.
Thanks, Neil. There was no questions in the Q&A, so hopefully people you covered all the options and that kind of thing. So hope everybody's happy. Just to remind people that you can put any questions that you have in the Q&A. There's somebody's just tested it by saying good evening. So good evening.
Thanks very much. And yeah, like as you can see on the screen, you'll see my email address, phone number, and then the undergraduate admissions email as well. There's a ask web chat as well. You could use that to ask questions, and then our social media as well. They're all areas where you can get in contact with us if you have any questions. So yeah, I'll welcome Emer. I'll stop sharing my screen. 1 second, bear with me. And Emer can present on the mature entry routes. All right.
Yeah. Okay, the share. Good. Meet that's coming up okay, is it?
Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
all good.
that's great. Thank you very much. So yeah, as Neil said, my name is Emer. I'm the Mature Student Officer, and I'm based in the Maynooth Access Programme. Our role in the Maynooth Access Programme is to provide much as what we're doing this evening, providing information and advice and guidance for people coming through the entry routes to university other than the Leaving Cert. So that's the mature student entry route, the QQI entry route that Neil has just gone through. And then there's two other entry routes for school leavers who are underrepresented in third level education. So the HERE and the DARE route. Some of you who were in school last year might have heard about them. So I'm going to talk you now through the mature student process, the application selection. So just my presentation, I'll just talk a little bit about mature students at Maynooth University, just what motivates them, just so it might resonate with some of you if you are mature students or hoping to be, their experience and their value to the university. I'll go through the mature student application and selection process. I'm mainly talking about our full-time degrees. So I'll talk about how to apply, how we select mature students for our courses and what to expect during those selection processes. I'll talk about the preparatory courses. So if people have been out of education for a while, we would normally recommend that you would do some kind of preparatory course before embarking on the degree course. And then I'll touch on some of the supports that we have for mature students and QQI students. And then again, the email address if people want to email me directly. So just a little bit about the mature students at Maynooth. So places are reserved on all of our degree programs for mature applicants. So mature student can apply for any degree course in the university. The university is very committed to building a strong mature student community, has a reputation for welcoming mature students for many, many years. And there are a suite of designated supports, particularly for mature students. Currently, we would have about 600 mature students studying with us across all of our full-time degree courses. And mature students do very well academically. We recently looked at their performance in comparison to the greater student body and found that that mature students tend to be more likely to get the firsts and 2-1s, which are the higher kind of grades. That's how they grade at third level. So mature students do very, very well. Sometimes mature students can take a bit longer to finish their degree. Just life gets in the way, something happens, and it is possible to kind of do a term or a semester and then leave for a while and come back the following year and continue your degree. So that happens from time to time. Mature students also participate in all aspects of college life. They have formed and run their own society, the Mature Student Society. They work very closely with the Maynooth Access Programme in supporting mature students. They work as ambassadors for the Access Office, for the Admissions Office at Open Days, and various other events, a lot of celebratory events in the university. They take part in our study abroad programmes, and many are involved in work experience as part of their course. And then after you graduate, a lot of the mature students are kind of remain with us to do further studies like masters or PhD programs, and many have gone on into employment. So just we've recently did a survey on our mature students just to find out, our current cohort, just to find out what kind of made them go to college, because we think this is kind of nice to know when you're in, maybe some of you might be in similar boat to our current students. So a lot of people have told us that they just haven't had the opportunity to continue education when they were younger. They might have hated school and just wanted to go out and get a job, make a bit of money. They might have been under pressure to go out and earn a bit, contribute to the family finances or their own finances, and just never got the opportunity to continue education when they were in school. Other people have said that they just wanted to change in career and need qualifications to do that, or to improve their job prospects generally. Many people have also said that they've had a kind of passionate interest in something like English or history or biology or something, and kind of dabbled in these subjects over the years, but now want to study these in a more formal, structured way. So we're coming back to do degrees. And then other people have just said that the opportunity arose. The kids have gone and they're freer now, or they've retired. And that's a lovely time to go to college when you don't have as many kind of commitments or responsibilities going on. So the mature students at Maynooth are very highly valued. So the lecturers, the tutors are always telling us how motivated and committed they are. They're always delighted to see mature students in their class. And they bring valuable life experiences. So they tend, they tend to be a bit older, and they have, gathered a lot of experiences, and they kind of bring these into the lectures, enrich the lectures and seminars. And as I say, they tend to do well. I should have said at the beginning, a mature student, you have to be 23 or over to apply as a mature student. So you must be 23 by the 1st of January of the year you wish to commence your degree courses. So we would currently have mature students from 23 up to mid-70s at the moment, so it's never too late to start. If you're interested in part-time course, you have to be 21 or over on the 1st of January. We are having, as part of this CAO information evening, I think there's a session later on the part-time degree courses as well. So as I said, mature student can apply for any degree program. I'm not going to go into any detail on these degree programs because they're covered in the various talks tonight. And some of those talks are going on at the moment, but they'll be repeated later on. But just to say, we have, the way our degrees are structured, we have two broad-based degrees, so our Bachelor of Arts and our Bachelor of Science. The Bachelor of Arts is 32 subjects in all to choose from, out of which you choose up to 4 in first year, and then typically drop down to 2 for second and third year. And the Bachelor of Science, there's 9 subjects to choose from. And again, you do more subjects in first year, and then you can drop a subject as you go through your degrees. Our Bachelor of Arts are 3 years in duration. The Bachelor of Science is 4 years. And then we have specialised degrees in many different areas like business, economics, finance, accounting, humanities, social science, psychology, law, computer science, education, electronic engineering, various specialised science courses, and in nursing as well. So I think all or most of them are covered in the session this evening. And I think I'm right in saying that all of the sessions are being recorded, so they'll be available afterwards if you don't get to hear them. So in terms of the application process, so mature students must apply through the CAO. They must apply by the 1st of February. You could do most people will do it online. It is possible to do a paper-based application. As Neil said, if you do it by the 20th of January, you get a slightly reduced rate of €35. Otherwise, it's €50. It's very, very important that you keep the 1st of February deadline for a mature student in particular, because most of our courses will close after the 1st of February, and it's not possible to add them on later like it is for other categories of students. So you must have your CAO completed and all your course choices in that CAO by the 1st of February. There is late applications for some courses, and you will see them if the 1st of February has come and gone and you'd like to see if there's anything available in Maynooth. You can check maynoothuniversity.ie to see what's still open. Generally, the only courses that tend to be still open would be the Bachelor of Arts degree, and I think the Media Studies. That's not guaranteed, but just to say that there may be a possibility of late applications. But 1st of February is what you should have in your head when you're filling out your CAO. It's also really, really important for mature students to complete the CAO application form thoroughly and provide any supporting documentation. When you're applying as a mature student, you'll be ticking the mature student box on the CAO form, and that'll bring you into the mature student section. And there's 11 different sections within the mature student area to fill out, all about your education to date, your highest qualification, what you might be currently doing, what you've done in the past, any non-certified courses, your work experience, any voluntary experience if you have it, and the kind of hobbies and interests, and any specific information you want to tell us. And there's also a personal statement section, which is quite small. It's about 3,000 characters. I think it's 200 words. It's small, but it's very, very important that you complete the mature student section of the CAO form in its entirety, because your application may not go any further if it's not completed. So it's very important to do that. So the selection process, there's a different selection process for the different degree courses. So the Bachelor of Arts degree, for example, we would, when anybody has applied for that and we're assessing the applications, if we see that people are currently studying, and a lot of the people that apply to us are currently doing a QQI course or a leaving cert or an adult education course or something like that. So we would just ask them to send on their results when they got them, and we'll hold a place for you pending those results coming in. In some cases, we will interview people. If we're seeing that you haven't a huge amount of education in your background to date, we always bring you in for interview in that case, just to give you advice and guidance on what to do in order to prepare yourself for third level study. And then the other possible outcome for the arts degree in particular is an offer if people have already met requirements. So if you already have the leaving cert points, even from years ago, or you've done a QQI level 5 and you've already gotten your 4 distinctions, so it's slightly different entry requirements for a person who's a mature student doing a QQI course as opposed to somebody under 23 doing a QQI course. It gets a bit complicated, and as Neil said, and I'm saying, we're supplying our email addresses for people to ask us for after this evening. Most of our other degrees, our specialised degrees, all of our science and engineering degrees have a written assessment. I see I haven't got that actually written down here, but it has a written assessment, after which there's a shortlist compiled for interview. So you have your application in by the 1st of February, and if you've put down one of our specialised degrees in business and law or biomedical science or whatever it is, the university will then write out to you and tell you what the next stage is and tell you about the written assessment and when and where and how it takes place. And once you have taken part in that assessment, the individual academic departments will review that and then compile a shortlist for interview. And if you do get to the interview stage, they're asking you really about your interest in the degree. It's not those tests are not an aptitude test. They might be a kind of more general question on why you want to study business or law or something like that. But some of them might get into a little bit more detail on the actual subject. So it's very, very important to do as much research as you can in terms of the degree that you're applying for. And most of those written assessments require an essay type answer, but the mathematics test is for all the science and engineering degree courses, not the psychology course. I'm sorry, I should have updated that. So the psychology course has a new selection process this year, in that they are asking people to fill out a much longer personal statements, but they will write out to you and tell you what that's about as well. If you are coming for interview, whether it's for the arts degree or any of the specialized degrees, don't. It's not like going for a job interview. It's an opportunity to tell us about your achievements, either in education or general or life work, whatever it is. You get plenty of opportunity to ask questions, and we use the interviews ourselves to provide tailored advice and guidance to each candidate. So what we're looking generally for from a mature student is evidence that you're prepared academically to take on the degree course. So we're not counting Leaving Cert points. You don't have to have a Leaving certificate, but you do have to be ready academically to take on the degree course. So to show us that is to have completed a course in education in recent years. And by doing that, we know that you're acquiring study skills, academic skills, writing skills. If you're going towards science or engineering or finance and accounting, you have acquired mathematics skills or had exposure to lab work. We're also looking for people to have done research into the course. So if you are coming for interview, it's important that you understand the structure of the degree you're applying for and can speak about it and know the subjects that are on offer. And then we also, usually in an interview, we'll just touch on the practical considerations. And that's not whether to offer you a place or not. It's just really to alert people that there's a cost to come to college, that there's a commitment. You don't get your piece of paper until you've completed your full degree. So unlike the institutes of technology or the technological universities, as they are now, you might exit after a year or 2 years with a certificate or diploma. Whereas in the universities, you wouldn't get your degree until you finish your 3 years. So that's what we're looking for from mature students. If people have been out of education for a while, you might consider doing some kind of preparatory course. So we run some courses in Maynooth University, but a lot of people choose to do their preparatory course closer to home in a college of further education. So the ones that have been running in Maynooth University are the Certificate in Return to Learning. That's a level 5 on that national framework for qualifications that Neil put up earlier. That's a certificate that prepares people for study in the arts, humanities and social science areas. If you come to that, it's a 1-year course. It's part-time, and it's I think it's 2 mornings a week. And if you get 60% at the end of that, you are automatically offered a place on our arts degree. But you're entitled to apply for all other degree courses as well. We have 2 other certificates that are currently paused at the moment, but we're just mentioning them just in case they do come back on track in the following year. We had a certificate in science and computer science. That's at level 6 on the framework, and a think about teaching as a preparatory course for primary level teaching. But at the moment, they're not happening, most likely not happening in September of this year. So as I say, A lot of people would choose to do their preparatory course in their local area, local community, local college of further education, adult education centre, or might do an adult leaving certificate programme. And all of the preparatory courses, whether they are held in Maynooth or outside of Maynooth in a college of further education, they're equally valued by ourselves. So in terms of the supports for potential students, and then when you become a student of the university, we provide advice and guidance, as we're doing this evening, on how to apply, the selection process, the courses that we run, finance, funding your way through university, and the supports. So people are absolutely welcome to come and talk to me, to email me and set up a chat online or over the phone, or come and meet me in person to talk about their own particular interests and options when applying as a mature student, or even if you're thinking of it down the line in the next couple of years, we're happy to meet with you. And we have that unique selection process in that we do kind of bring people in for interview just to discuss their various options. We have some summer academic skills courses that we would just recommend for people when we're interviewing them, and they are in academic writing that we're not sure if that'll run this year, but we also have mathematics courses during the summer. We have those preparatory courses that I mentioned that have a guaranteed progression to our degree courses. And then once you've been offered a place on the CAO and have accepted that place, you will hear all about the next stage, which is the Welcome Week, is the orientation program that happens around the second week, I think, in September. So a week before your lectures start. And then also anybody coming through the mature student or QQI route is offered particular supports from the Maynooth Access Programme. So in that case, once you've been offered and accepted your place on the CAO, we will email you to tell you about Welcome Week, but also to ask you to sign up for supports. And when you do that, it takes less than a minute to fill out that little form. Then you'll be assigned an advisor who will contact you and meet with you just to see what kind of supports you might need, if you need any. We also have, our student advisors also have a drop-in service from 12 to 2 every day. The support is around anything that comes up for you. So it could be academic, it could be something personal or social in nature, financial, dealing with technology. So all of those, whatever challenges people might have, your student advisor will help you or be able to refer you to the relevant office within the university. We have, as part of the Maynooth Access Programme, we have the Disability Support Service. So if anybody has any disability, any learning disability like dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, they can avail of supports, whether it's exam accommodations or specific support around using the library or assistive technology. And then for other disabilities, physical and sensory disabilities, mobility, hearing for deaf, hard of hearing, visually impaired or blind, and health conditions, long-term health, mental health, there are supports through the Maynooth Access Programme. And there's also technology support running throughout the year as well. We also have, outside of the Maynooth Access Programme, and for all students, there's a student budgeting advice service. And I always like to mention that here. It's probably the biggest used service in the university. So if you run into any financial difficulties, whether it's about the grant or you're just having trouble making ends meet at the end of every week or month or whatever it is, and are in danger of dropping out of college, you can avail of the student budgeting advice service, and they will provide advice or refer you to specific funds. So just in terms of the finance support and the funding options, the two main sources of funding for mature students are really the SUSI grant. So that's the government grant. That covers the student contribution charge, which is €3,000, and it gives you a small maintenance as well. The SUSI grant is means tested, and it's means tested on the household income. The Back to Education allowance is for people who are on some kind of social welfare payment. So when you go on into full-time study in particular, you may be entitled to keep that social welfare payment as you go through your studies, and you just need to check that out with your local social protection office. Then some of the other funds, and I'm just going to mention them here, the 1916 bursary, and really up to people to look into these. If you just Google any of these, you'll find out about them. The 1916 bursary is worth $5,000 per year of your study. The University Scholarship is for mature students only. That's worth similar amount or more if you have dependents. We have the Kickstart Scholarship for anybody with convictions. And then there are area-based partnerships or agencies like the Vincent de Paul who have specific education funds for mature students going back into education. That website there is studentfinance.ie. So that's studentfinance, all one word, .ie, outlines all of these funds in detail. The last two funds there on the slide are the Student Assistance Fund and the Student Emergency Fund, and they are, you will hear all about them after you've become a student. So all of the others you can find out about from now up until next September, but when you become a student of the university, you can, you'll hear all about these and how to access those other funds. So this is my last slide. So I just that's my name, Emer Sheeran, Mature Student Officer. So it's just Emer, EMER.Sheeran, SHEERIN @mu.ie. And or you can contact the Access Office, access.office@mu.ie. So that's me.
Thanks very much, Emer, for taking us through all that. Really good information. And again, we'd say to anyone, ask any questions you might have. You have our contact details there. I've one question for you, Emer, in the Q&A. So for psychology, for the longer personal statement, is this in the CAO form to be completed by the 1st of February, or is it sent out after the CAO form is complete?
Okay, great. That's a great question, and it is not in the CAO form. So what would happen is you'll have your psychology on your CAO form, and then we'll hear about that in early March when we see all the CAO forms that will be sent to us. And then the department or the admissions office, I'm not sure, but somebody in the university will send you out instructions on that longer personal statement with the individual questions. I think there might be 5 questions. I don't know if I might have said 3, but there's 5 kind of questions, and they're kind of covering things like why you want to study psychology, what you've done in the past, you know, and that kind of thing. I can give you more detail if people want to email me about that. I can find out, but they will outline very clearly what they're looking for in that longer personal statement. Is that okay in terms of your question there?
Yeah, I think that answered it perfectly. And again, if there's any further questions or anything at all, just ask us via email or our phones. You can get all the details online. So, yeah, one more question I think is coming in. Oh, no, it's just a great and a thank you for the answer to that question. So, last chance there to ask any questions. We'll kind of wrap it up. Again, thanks so much for coming this evening to our webinar on the QQI routes, the mature student routes. Be sure to have a look at our schedule at 8 p.m. So we have all, like Emer said before, most of our courses. So we've MH101 arts and specialized arts degrees. We have science and engineering talk. We have an education teaching degrees talk. We have our nursing talk. And then our Bachelor of Arts part-time flexible learning talk. So some of them might be of interest to you guys. And again, I'll just check the Q&A one last time. So we have 2 questions, all right? So for secondary teaching, what would be relevant on the personal statement?
Is this a mature student question? Probably is.
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
mature student. Yeah.
The personal statement on the CAO, it's a very good question. The personal statement on CAO can be very generic. Your answer can be very, very generic, because really a lot of people are applying for many different institutions, many different colleges, and that's fine. We expect that, so you don't have to make it minute specific. The Sorry, I think that was primary teaching you were asking about there. So the primary teaching has a whole other set of selection processes. So when you've applied through the CAO, that's you just have to fill out the CAO and as I spoke about earlier on, but you will be contacted then, and there'll be a supplemental form, as far as I know, to fill out, and it's in that you will get an opportunity to talk about your specific interest in primary education. And again, the person who asked that, if you want to contact me directly, I can direct you to where all of that information is online as well.
Yeah, and then one more, just what was the website for the financial support
Oh,
information?
yeah. So that's student finance, all one word, student finance. It's just www.studentfinance.ie.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's all our questions asked. Hopefully we've given you the information you came here for. And again, I'd say open days, open days, open days. Try get to our one in spring. And yeah, see if you like it here on campus. And yeah, hopefully we'll be the right fit for you guys. So thanks again, and yeah, we'll leave it there.
Thanks very much.
All right.